Hey guys, this is my abuse story on bullying, and, so let me start. It started when I was in 3rd grade. All the other kids started, calling me like, oh, ew, she's gross, she's this, she's that, and at first I was kind of like, whatever, and once I actually found out what it was, by them saying that I'm gross, that I smell, and even though I keep my hygiene up very good, I was still, like, what's wrong with me? I would also have people tell me, I'm your friend, I'm your friend, I'm your friend, and they would go behind my back and they would start talking about me and saying, oh, how ugly I was, how fat I was, how horrible I was, and for a while it was just kind of like, whatever. And it continued on from 3rd grade to 5th grade, it continued. And then, middle school, I was bullied big time. I was called the Beast. I was called really harsh words, really mean words, some of which I don't want to repeat. And it got to me, but, everybody handles bullying differently. Mine was, I got very depressed, and, I'd come home, and I'd do my homework, and, I'd have friends, oh, hey, you want to come out and play, and kind of like, no, I don't want to play, and I would just go up to my room, and I'd, coop myself in my room on hours on it, I'd come down to eat and everything, and come out to go to the bathroom, but my room was where I felt safe. I did family activities with my family and everything, but to me, I felt that I was alone, I guess I could say. And then finally I told the teacher. Well, I told my mom first, and my mom was like, you're one person, you can't deal with this. And I'm sorry if I start crying during this video, it's very emotional for me. You can't go through middle school being picked on. And I told teachers, and I told teachers, and I told teachers. And nobody believed me, but my family. And it was really hard for me because, I was like, okay, well, what am I doing wrong, I'm sorry, guys, I'm starting to cry. I felt like I was alone. I felt like I had nobody behind me but one person, which was, my family. And to me, it was like really, really, what am I doing wrong? Why do I have to be the bad guy in this situation? And I filled out incident report after incident report after incident report. Nobody gave a crap except my family. And the school system did nothing. So I found my help. Everybody finds a way to cope with something differently. My way to cope was, before I knew about reborns and everything, was to cope with music. I would come home and I would find that music was my only way to actually cheer up and get out of this depression. I would listen to any kind of music, whether it be rap, pagan music, and I would get teased and people would tell me, oh, your gods don't exist. Okay, well, how do you know that? And don't get me wrong, I know I have some subscribers that believe in God and everything, and some don't. And some do. But I found a lot of faith in my family, my gods, and Greek mythology. And then I discovered Reborns. And once I got Rosalie, it was just something for me to, at first it started out as like, oh, she's just a doll, how could she help me? And then I actually, one day I was having a really hard day and I was being picked on really, really bad that day. And I just told my mom, and I was like, I can't do it. I can't go through school every day being bullied. And she's like, I know, but you have to hold your head up high, hold your chin up, And I even talked to her. I was like, Mom, can't you pull me out of school so I could do homeschooling, at least I'd be going to school and not being picked on. And we actually brought that to the school system, and they were like, well, that's not an option for her. She's halfway in through the year and everything else. I got Rosalie the summer of my freshman year, and sophomore year I was really bullied a lot because I was different, because I always had my nose in a book. And don't get me wrong, for those of you guys that read all you can. And I just came home and I held Rosalie and I changed her and I dressed her and I swaddled her and fed her, and she was, for the moment being, she was my baby. She was something that I could hold until I had a bad day today. I'm not, how do I say it? I'm not like wanting to go to school. And that really helped. And that's like my coping, my way of dealing with it, But now I'm now you could look at me and wouldn't be able to tell that I was bullied. And it stopped after my sophomore year. It had stopped. And my junior and senior year, I was bully free. I was like, yeah, I'm free. I started a new school. I felt good about myself, but because of all the bullying and because of everything, I had a very poor, not poor self-esteem, but I didn't, I don't know, I didn't really think much of myself, I didn't think I was pretty like the other girls. I didn't think I was skinny like the other girls, and I've never had an eating disorder, and hopefully never will, but, I'd look at all these other girls in high school, and I'd be like, wow, I would love to fit into a size 14 pants, And I went through high school being overweight, and now that my nephew is born, I know it's a soft subject, now that my nephew is born, I want to be able to play with him. I want to be able to run around with him and everything. But bullying has in a way, it's left his mark. So, I urge you guys, I really, really urge you guys, if you are being bullied in school, or at home, or outside of school, at the bus stop, on the bus, please, you guys, tell someone. Tell an adult you trust. Tell your mom, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, your grandmother, your grandfather, a teacher, your school bus driver, somebody that you feel you can trust. I really, really, really urge you to do that. And if any of you are going through a hard time and you ever need to talk, I'm here for you guys. You can just PM me. But that's my story on being bullied. Bye, guys.